Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally come. One of my most anticipated films of the entire year has finally released into theaters. And for those of you who have not seen this movie yet, don't worry because this review will not contain a single spoiler. But don't worry for those of you who have seen this movie and want me to get a little bit more in depth with this movie, just stay tuned for this weekend because I will be putting out a separate review that will cover everything related to spoilers. This movie follows a band of rebel spies. Yes, those same rebel spies, and it follows their efforts to steal the plans to the Death Star and restore peace to the galaxy. So many of you may know, or if you have functioning eyeballs, or if you've been following my channel for quite a while, you guys would know I'm a huge Star Wars fan. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. I've loved these movies since I was a kid. And I was actually excited for this movie because this is actually a really fascinating story that I hadn't really given any thought to. When they announced that they were making this movie, I'm like, that's actually a really cool idea. I actually want to see that. Because that's not really anything you think about. You don't really think, hey, how did they get those Death Star plans? And you didn't really think about that until now. Well, let's cut the crap. Let's stop the introduction. You guys are here to know what I thought about this movie. And did I like this movie? Yes, I did. I liked it. I, however, did not love it, but I did like it. And this movie is directed by Gareth Edwards, who is the same person that brought us the 2014 Godzilla film. And something that he did really well in that film, and he does it again with this movie, is he sets up scale so well. I was totally blown away by how massive and intimidating the Empire seemed in this movie. And it's really effective because you have these rebel soldiers running away from the AT-ATs, and then it pans up and you see these massive AT-ATs just coming after them. And overall, this movie is gorgeous. And there was some motion capture in this movie that literally made my jaw drop. I was shocked at how good it looked. And this is probably one of the best looking Star Wars movies we've ever gotten. And something that I really liked about this movie is the band of rebels that you follow, not a single one of them is in A New Hope. So all bets are off on who's going to make it out of this movie and who won't make it out of this film, which I feel like added a lot of stakes and a lot of weight to this movie. And of course we know how this plays out. They get the plans, they give them to Leia, Leia gives them to Luke, and you know, you've seen the movie, it's Star Wars. But what this movie's about really is the journey. And it's a journey that I was entertained by, but it's not really anything that sucked me in. I was actually thinking about it. It is odd how much this movie actually echoes Gareth Edwards' Godzilla. Because in this movie, you have something in this film that you really want to see. You've been waiting the entire movie for you to see it, and they don't really show it that often like in Godzilla. And unfortunately, in this movie, like also in Godzilla, the majority of this film, you're stuck with characters that you don't really care about. Jyn Erso is our main character, and I thought she was the most fleshed out. And I think Felicity Jones did a great job portraying her. In fact, everyone across the board gives a good performance in this movie. It's just that I really wasn't invested in any of the characters. The characters I did like, though, were really only because they were funny or they fought really cool. For example, K2SO is really funny, and he fights cool. Donnie Yen's character was funny, and he fought cool. This guy had a cool gun. And even when I left this movie, I was like, I want a Donnie Yen toy, but it's not because that he was a great character. I just like the way he fought in the movie. And just a little side note, if you have seen this movie and you also like Donnie Yen's character, please, I implore you to seek out a film called Ip Man. If you liked his character in this movie, you've seen nothing yet. Now, I've seen a lot of movies. I know how characters are developed, and I'm honest with myself enough to say that if you take out Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, Luke, Han, and Leia are not the most fleshed out characters. But what our characters do from A to B to C is really entertaining. But it's in episode 5 and episode 6 where we really get that character development. But in a majority of this film, the characters don't really have an opportunity to do anything until the end of the film. So I guess what I'm saying is you can have an entertaining movie with two-dimensional and flat characters. You can do it. It's out there. It's possible. And you can also have a really boring movie with three-dimensional characters and well-fleshed out characters. It's possible too. But the difference is, it's great movies that have both. So the fact that these characters aren't very well fleshed out paired with the fact that they really don't get to do anything that interesting, combines to make a film that the majority of it is not that entertaining. And it results in a movie that's really slow. With that being said, this movie's saving grace is the third act. The last portion of this movie is incredible, and the best way to describe Rogue One is it's a movie that has a really okay beginning, but a fantastic ending. And I think that's why so many people love this movie, is because when they left, they go, "Oh my god, Darth Vader! I love Darth Vader! He's so cool!" And you're right. He's really cool. He's the best villain in cinema history. But unfortunately, the dude's in like 2 scenes. Now, if Vader is in this movie for about 3 minutes, that's fine. In fact, I thought he fit well into this movie. But my problem is Disney. They made such a massive push of Darth Vader in the marketing. He was such an integral part of everything that they put out. So when you have a movie where he's in like 3 minutes of it, it's kind of disappointing. Like with Force Awakens, Luke Skywalker was in one shot in everything that they released. He was in one shot in the trailer. So when I saw that movie and I saw Luke's in this movie for one shot, I was okay with that. Because he wasn't a huge part of their marketing. Was he in the posters? No. Was he in the magazines? No. Did they release toys of him? No. He was at the end of the movie, and that's because Disney wasn't being like, "Hey, look at Luke Skywalker, he's in this film," like they did with Darth Vader. With that being said, the scenes that Vader was in, they were really cool. I did, however, think that his second appearance was cut way too short. And I think this movie's climax actually really would have benefited if he was a more integral part of it and if he was a bigger presence in the ending of this movie. Overall, I liked Rogue One. The ending was incredible, filled with scenes that made it feel like I was watching a war movie in the Star Wars universe. Unfortunately, everything else before that was just entertaining enough to keep my attention, and it really didn't offer anything more than that. I did, however, leave this movie wanting to watch Episode 4 and actually think that it retroactively improved Episode 4, which is really hard to do. So my question for you guys is, did you see Rogue One? Did you like it? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Please be kind and respectful and not put any spoilers down there. Some people haven't seen the movie, so don't be a jerk. And YouTube has this new algorithm, which if you give my video a thumbs up or a comment, it really does help me out because I don't want to lose subscribers. I don't want to lose you guys. I'm sure you guys don't want to lose me either. So make sure you do that so I don't get left behind. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, click on the link down below and subscribe to my channel to see more movie reviews and movie related things. I guess thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.